Hello, welcome to Tabletop CP. And this week we're heading to Bastogne for another game of Achtung Panzer. Alright, so this will be our second game. So the first game, that was pretty fun, and I think we got the rules down. It's been a few weeks though since we played that, so we're going to have to kind of relearn it, but it shouldn't take but a few phases for us to get back in. So yeah, I'll be in Bastogne 44. It'll be the attacking Germans versus the defending Americans. So we'll talk about the map first. So we're using our Nordic winter mat today. This is my cigar box battle. This is definitely my favorite winter mat, as it is very vibrant white, which is kind of rare to find with game mats in my experience. So if you want to get one of these for your winter battles, check out the description. Alright, so far as the terrain for this game goes, so there's ambush terrain and line of sight blocking terrain are pretty much the only two types of terrain there are in this game. So we do have 8 pieces of ambush terrain as per the mission rules, and we have, so we got, see here if I can find them all. So we got one here in these woods, one in this ruin, one in that ruin, one in the fountain here. I have one in this ruin, one in this piece of woods, one in that house, and one in there. And I think that's all 8. I'm not sure, there might be one more I'm missing. But other than that, we have the tank traps out. Tank traps are impassable to tanks. And I just threw them out there because I had them. Winter tank traps made up, so I thought they would look cool. That's the terrain, so let's talk about the mission. So today's mission will be mission 5 from the rulebook, Outflanked. And we'll be playing long way. And the attackers will be starting within 6 inches of one of the board edges. We'll roll for that to see which direction the attack's coming from. The defenders will then deploy anywhere in their half of the defending area. And the defender can deploy both tanks. The attacker can deploy 1 tank, and they have to bring 1 tank in reserve. It's a 30-minute game, and the reserves will come in at 15 minutes. So halfway through the game, the reserve German tank will arrive. And they will arrive anywhere along either of the long board edges. So that should be pretty interesting. And then as far as victory points go, the attackers are going to get 1 victory point for every enemy tank they kill. Defenders will get 2 victory points for every tank that survives the game, and 1 victory point for every enemy tank they kill. So that's the mission. Let's look at the tank forces. Starting here with the Americans. So both of these are going to be 39 total points. And to get to there with the Americans, we're going to be bringing a high caliber M4A3 75mm Sherman. It is 20 points. It's going to have HE, AP, and smoke, no special rounds. And it's got front turret and hull armor of 10. Side is 6 on the turret, 5 on the hull, 7-inch speed. And then moving over here, this is going to be commanded by Lieutenant Mark Donaldson. And then we're going to have a medium caliber M10 tank destroyer, commanded by Wild Bill Thompson, 19 points. It's got AP, HE, no smoke round, but it does have the option, or we could be bringing a special round for it. It's got armor 7 on the turret on the front, 6 turret on the hull, 3 all around on the sides, 7-inch speed. So that's, it's got open topped as well, and pintle. And then this has pintle and stabilizer. So I'll have to see what stabilizer and open topped are. Yeah, that's it for the American force. Let's look at the Germans. The German force. Alright, so we got the big boy, the Tiger 1. This is going to be medium caliber, 25 points, class 4 tank, armor 13 on the front turret, 12 on the front hull, and 9 all around the sides. It can have AP, HE, and a special round. 5-inch speed, so it's not very fast. And yeah, so that's that. That's going to be commanded by Bruder. And then for point purposes, we're bringing a medium caliber Stu 42 assault gun. So this is a howitzer tank. Great in bolt action. In this game, it does have some AP. Has an AP shell, an HE shell, and a smoke shell. But the penetration is 6 within 18 and only 3 at long range. So not great at taking out enemy tanks. Be good at clearing Ambush terrain is it has a support rule, which means you can only bring one of these type of tanks just because it's so good at clearing ambush terrain. Which there is a lot of ambush terrain, so that it could be doing that. We'll see what the German commander does with it. It's got a 6-inch move and decent armor, 9 on the front, but only 3 on the sides. And that's it. So what we'll do now is we will figure out how many stars we're going to get for our crews. Figure out our asset, or we'll get our event cards. See how many asset cards we're going to get, and then get started. Okay, so I'm attacking from this side is the Germans. Andre's defending down there. His half will deploy in a minute. I wound up getting 4 stars per. So I got a 2-star commander, gunner, and a 1-star driver on both tanks. I did wind up getting 2 special ammos for the Tiger. And I pulled these. I'm not going to read all these, but I'll just kind of put the camera on them if you want to pause it and read them. But I got these 4 event cards, and then I had 6. I wound up getting 6 stars to buy asset cards with, and then these are the ones that I got. So asset cards they're sort of hard to use because you have to get an event card to let you play them most of the time. So it's not like something you can just do, whenever you want. It's very specific timing on those, as we learned in our last game. So that is the Germans, and we'll take a look at the Americans.
Okay, the Americans. So my cards are not particularly good. I'm really gonna need to try and cycle through those and get some better ones. The improvised armor is great as a defender, but yeah, the others, pretty mediocre in terms of how powerful the cards can be. So my star allocation, I got a 2-star commander, a 1-star gunner, and a 3-star driver on the Sherman, because I got a maneuver and I'm not gonna probably be doing too much shooting. Over here I only had 4 stars to spread around, so 1-star commander, 1-star gunner, and a 2-star driver. So we'll see how that works out. I do have some special ammo on the tank destroyer, but I don't know that I'm going to be having the chance to shoot a lot, because mostly I'm just going to try and be hull down and hidden and try and make Travis move out in a way so that I can catch his not Tiger and maybe take it out, and then just cat and mouse with that Tiger, because I don't think I can really do too much to it. It's one of those, if I can shoot him, he can probably shoot me. So although actually if I'm in the hull down, that could actually work out for me, shooting from the hull down position. So I'll be trying that out. The bad news is he's got a lot of cards, and a lot of the cards have to do with ambushing out of getting hit from the ambush terrain. So there's a decent chance I'm just going to go down, get blasted due to the fact that he's playing cards that are going to use the ambush terrain that I'm hiding behind and splatting me that way. Anyhow, we'll see what happens. Here comes the man and the dog. The man with the dog. Say hey, Finn. Our mascot.
So deployment-wise, Andre as the defender started first. And you put Donaldson Sherman here behind this ambush terrain, which is also blind of sight blocking terrain. All the clumps of trees block line of sight, as well as the solid buildings. Otherwise, it's true line of sight. You can see through these ruins and everything. So Donaldson's here. Wild Bill and his M10 are behind this building. And no surprise here, I brought my Tiger in as my first tank. That means my Stu 42 will be rolling in at the halfway point of the game. And that's it. So we're ready to get started. So Andre has laid these out. randomly, so I will pick 2 of them. Andre will pick 2 of them. You'll pick
Well, no,
those.
I want to.
Oh, you want these 2?
No, I want one of those, one of these.
Oh, okay.
Since I actually know which ones are which.
Okay, then you don't. Okay. So we got to do a radio check. If we pass the radio check, we can look at them and assign them how we please. I did not pass the radio check, and I think Andre did. What's your highest commander?
3+.
3+. So I have to randomly place mine
But
on
I
my
would pass
tanks,
on a 4+, so.
and then Andre can look at his and put them down. The Tiger is randomly number 1. My other tank's not even deploying, so he's just. He was number 3, which means Andre is going to be 3 and 4.
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Looks like the M10 is 4 and the Sherman is 2. So we'll start off with the Tiger. Starting off here at my Tiger, was straight down the road. Only got a 5-inch move. So he just moved up, and then we're starting the process with our action of loading the special round. So the loader has grabbed the shell from the case, and he's about to throw it in. Meanwhile, Andre over on his side, both tanks halted, and both started loading. The M10 started loading a special shell, and the Sherman, was it loading a smoke round?
Yeah.
Sherman's starting to load a smoke round. So now we move on to action 2, and the order stays the same to the end of the turn, which will be at the end of the 3rd action. The Tiger moved up another 5 inches down the road and then completed loading the shell. Meanwhile, Andre just finished. He halted with both again. He's just hiding behind the buildings back there, and he completed the loading process for both of his tanks as well. So we move on to the 3rd action. I moved up. The Tiger moved up again. And since I'm loaded, I did a scoot, and I got a 4-inch additional move up. Over here, Donaldson's Sherman's just sitting tight. Meanwhile, Wild Bill and his M10 did a pivot action, tactical action, so he just pivoted to the left. And that's it for this turn, which means I roll 2. I decide as the attacker if I roll 1 or 2d6 to advance time. I'm going to roll 2 because I want to get my reserves in. So 5 minutes has passed.
Wow.
Okay, and then we'll do the admin phase and come back. Top of the 2nd turn, both of us discarded 1 event card and we drew another one. Andre got 1 and 2, passed the radio check, so the Sherman is going, then the M10. I drew 3 and 4. I gave 3 to Lankowski, or Ruder, I should say, in the Tiger, and then 4 is Lankowski off the board in the Stu 42 waiting to come in. So we're issuing our commands, and then Andre will go first. So you ready, Andre?
I think so.
All right. Now, tank 1, the Sherman, he just pivoted to the right, moved up an inch. The M10 also did a move, a straight ahead move, but just barely moved up. And then the Tiger advanced again straight ahead 5 inches, and then got a 6-inch scoot, but had to stop at the tank traps, which pretty much was at 6 inches anyway. All right, so next up, we'll move on to action phase 2. Okay, at the end of that phase, the Sherman just did a left turn, so he's swung back around. Wild Bill and the M10 did a forward command but didn't move. And then over here, my Tiger did a left turn, moved up 4 inches, and scooted up another 3, turned his turret towards the sound of the tank engine back here, I guess. Can't see anything. And now we move on to action phase number 3. Okay, tank 1, what do you got?
I've got
This is Donaldson's Sherman. It's got a left turn.
a left turn.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to try and do a pivot.
Free pivot.
Free
You got a
pivot.
veteran driver, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Anything but.
It's a butt. Oh, he's got cards. See if he has anything for it. He's got a charmed life, the driver of Donaldson's Sherman. He can re-roll that.
No problem.
Wait, hold on before you move. I got a card for you.
Okay.
Never mind. I don't want to test the veteran. The veteran driver is not going to roll another one, so he will
Go
turn.
like that. And then he's got a 90-degree turn.
I think he turned more than 90.
Well, No, because I was here.
Oh, you started there?
No, I did a pivot.
Well, that pivot, so the pivot, so that's your action.
No, it's my free pivot. I've got a move action.
Okay, we still got to pass a test for that, though.
I did.
I thought that was for something else. Oh, that was the free pivot you were testing.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So now.
So there's my pivot.
All right.
There's my 90 degree.
Okay.
And then I get 4 inches.
Yeah. So you're running away. Is that what? Looks like you're running away, Andre.
No. I'm not. I'm repositioning for a better shot.
Advance to the rear.
Okay, there's my 4-inch, and now I've got an action.
You do have an action still, yes. Wow, Bill's M10 is going straight ahead. But hold on, before you move, I'm going to play Unseen Obstacle. The tank runs over a hidden wreckage, and the enemy tank execute a movement action other than halt. You must pass a crew test as though moving through an area of ambush terrain. So your driver's level 2-star?
2-star.
So just needing a 3+.
Yep.
How hard can it be? Oh, you got it. So he just goes right over the unseen wreckage. There it is.
There's a big, there's an old tractor
Yeah.
laying in that hedgerow.
So he just popped out of there. So now it is the turn of the Tiger, and he was doing a right turn. The Brooder and the Tiger just did a right turn, squeezed through that ambush terrain there and that tank trap, and then did a 4-inch scoot up. And that is it for the action phase. So go ahead and roll a 1 or 2d6. What do you want, 1 or 2, Andre?
2.
You want to advance time?
9.
I thought you wanted to not. You wanted not. You're just making it so that my reinforcements come in faster.
I gotta end. My objective is to end the half hour.
Oh, okay. So that's definitely one way to look at it. I was looking at it more of as in the faster you go. So it'll be at what,
the
14?
longer I've got to play Mickey Mouse, not getting my butt shot off.
So we're at
14.
We're at 14 minutes. So
that was actually an excellent roll, wasn't it?
yeah. Well, yeah, you're getting one more turn here of just the Tiger before the.
So there might be another tank coming in after this.
There will be another tank coming in.
Unless time doesn't advance.
It will. Even I can't roll less than a 1. So we got to get our cards or our markers in order and decide the order of the turn. I'm number 1, Andre's 2, and I have a Brooder's Tiger is going to move straight ahead for 5 inches. Brooder moved up, he's unbuttoned, and I passed the test. My action was a spotting action, and if I pass a crew test with my 2-star commander, it's free, and I did, but Andre's going to...
But there was a little snow flurry there.
So he's
was
gonna
that
make me...
really a Sherman I saw scooting across?
And he
Yeah,
passes
it definitely was.
It was definitely a Sherman. So he made me re-roll that with a card. So since I passed that, that was a free action, which means with my action, I will aim. So I'm aiming at Donaldson's ass in his Sherman.
Oh, ass!
And that is mine. So we'll see if Andre can get the hell out of here. We were just talking about he needs, if he turns, I don't know. We'll see what he does. We'll see if he can get away from the Tiger or not. So who's number 2? Number 2 is the Stew.
You're number 2.
All right. So who's number 3?
That'd be the Sherman.
All right. He's gotten up there pretty far, but he can't get out of line of sight. So he just turned his turret around, and he did have a smoke shell loaded, so he just put a smoke round onto the Tiger, which is going to reduce my dice shooting at him. Probably the best thing he could have done since he couldn't get out of line of sight. And the next up is going to be Bill and the M10. So the M10, Wild Bill moved up. Turned his turret, he can see the front end of that Tiger over there. He is unbuttoned. He passed his crew check to make that a free action, so he used his action to aim. So he's now aimed at the Tiger. He can see like the front third of it, no, not even that much, but he can see it enough to aim at it and shoot at it. So that is it for that action phase. That's the first one of this turn, right?
Yeah.
So we're move on to the second action phase of this turn. Quick correction: Andre could not have done the smoke shell on me because I wasn't spotted or aimed.
And I'm buttoned.
So we moved it, and he did a scoot. So he just moved 6 inches up, but he's still in line of sight. So tank A, or tank 1 is the Tiger Brooder. We're going to take a shot at the Sherman. So Andre played the, what was it called? Some kind of smoke thing.
It was Fog of War.
Fog of War. So he was able to put a smoke marker immediately on a friendly or enemy tank. He chose to put it onto the Sherman. So that's going to reduce my dice down to 2 from 3 for this shot. So firing at the Sherman. All I need is a 5. Come on, Brooder. Ah, he missed. Damn it. Well, that could be the game. that could end the game right there, because if both of your tanks survive, I can't possibly win.
And it was the smoke, because the 4 would have hit, wouldn't it?
No, it would have just been a third dice.
You just had another die.
I would have a third dice to roll a 5 on. Okay, so that means I'm unloaded. Hey, at least I'm unloaded.
You are that.
Okay, so that's it for me. That was my halt command and my action. So next up is tank 3, which is the Sherman. Well, Bill's M10 is going to fire over here at Brooder. However, I have Fog of War as well. Gunsmoke and dust thrown up by tank trap. So I'm going to put it on myself, which means Wild Bill is only going to get 2 dice, or what's your aimed? So your aim is 3. So you get 3 dice down to 2. So you got to roll a 5 on one of these dice here.
We're at close range, though. That's 18 inches.
Oh
right?
yeah, no problem. Let's see if Wild Bill can hit Brooder's Tiger. He does hit it.
Wow.
I'm hull down though.
Yes.
Because this is ambush terrain.
Yes.
So
when I roll for the location, a 1, 2, or 3 is a miss, right?
Yeah. Well, let's roll it.
I believe that's
a miss. We'll check it though.
A miss.
The shot misses. So since I'm behind ambush terrain, I'm hull down. My hull down value on this Tiger is 3, and on a equal or less than roll of my hull down value, the shot just outright misses. So Wild Bill, it got hit one of these trees and deflected. And that's that, right? So we're moving on to the last action. So that was your halt, and your fire was your action. So now we move on to action 3. Brooder with his number 1 right turn moved up 4 inches, and then I used one of my cards onto the breach. So when you perform a load main gun action, which was my action, it automatically happens even with a very heavy gun. So I've loaded my last special ammo into the Tiger breach, and then next up is going to be Donaldson's Sherman. 3, Donaldson Sherman. He did a right turn and just scooched up onto the road there, and the now unloaded M10 has reversed.
And I guess we'll for our actual
your actual action.
actions.
So he's grabbing some ammo.
We'll go ahead.
In hand, in the load, or whatever that middle one is.
We're loaded.
Okay.
Getting loaded.
So that's the end, Andre.
The end.
Yep. So now.
How many dice you gonna roll?
1.
No, that is incorrect.
Oh, don't tell me you got a card for that.
Time will tell.
No, it won't. Play when rolling for elapsed time during an extra D6. Oh God. No dice or no dice are rolled. Oh, that would be a nice one for me to have.
Yeah.
So I can get my Tiger over there. So okay. 6 more minutes have elapsed.
Well, I'd only added 3 minutes, but
still, that might be the difference in the game.
So that actually puts it right at 20 minutes, doesn't it?
Yep. So we're 10 minutes left till the battle's over, and he gets 2 points for every surviving tank. So I guess, can the Tiger get over there fast enough? I don't know. It's going to be tough. I do have my reserves coming in this turn, so we'll sort out who's going in what order. We've replenished our hands. Andre, passage radio check. I failed mine. He got 1 and 4, so he gave 1 to Wild Bill's M10. He gave 4 to the Sherman, and then I randomly got 2 on the Stu 42 and 3 on the Tiger. And we will put our actions down and begin this turn. Kowski came in, Stu 42, and his gunner was able to load the shell, force it in there, pass the test. So he's right, came in the very edge. This could be the last turn, or there's going to be, no, yeah, it could end in the next roll. He only needs to roll a 10 on 2d6, which could happen, but we'll see. But speed is of the essence. I got in here, I got loaded, and then after that, Brooder, who's already loaded with special shell, his order was straight ahead. So we moved up 5, and they got another 5-inch scoot. So he's all the way up here now. So that is it for the Germans, and the last tank is going to be the Sherman. Let's see. What's your order, Andre? Straight ahead.
Full speed ahead.
All right. Donaldson and his Donaldson he had a forward order. He did not move forward. He scooted back. And he did a free pivot, so you got an action left. You still have an action then?
No, because I scooted.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, yeah, scooted. So he scooted back, and then they're both looking this way. But there's also a Tiger coming over, so that's it for that action phase. So we're moving on to second action phase. All right, reveal, Andre. Let's see what Tank 1's doing. Tank 1 is the M10.
Ooh, I might have screwed this up.
No. It's a reverse.
Reversey.
He's reversing.
So doing my 3+ pivot.
Free pivot.
Yeah.
He's got a free pivot, folks.
My free pivot off right there. And reversey. Yeah. We'll go to about there.
Okay.
Are we hold down?
Hold on. Okay. At the bottom armor. Bottom armor on M10 is like paper thin. Just take it out of there. It's not like it's anything but for looks anyway. Alright, there we go.
Alright.
And your turret is going to shoot right at...
We got a shot on a Sherman.
The Sherman.
Sherman shide shot. SSS.
And you still have a action, right?
And I can aim.
He's going to aim. Alright, so he's aiming over there at Lankowski's stew. So next up is the Tiger, who his command is straight ahead. Brooder and the Tiger, his straight ahead, 5. And then another, was it 4 or 5-inch scoot?
4-inch scoot.
4-inch scoot. So he's right up here with these guys now. And,
hey, it's a party.
We got a party over here. Next up is going to be Lankowski in the Stu 42 in the howitzer, who does have a shell loaded. And then, do I aim? Or I just snap fire it? It's like, screw it. So I don't know, man. That could end. The odds are it won't end this turn. So he's aimed at him. You get to go first, though. So if I aim back at you, you'll get a shot at me. Which means you'll probably take me out before I can take you out. But snap firing, I need 2d6
It sucks.
and 2 5s. So I need the same to roll as you need to end the game.
And I'm behind ambush cover.
Yeah, you are. So am I. All right, we'll aim. We're gonna aim back at Thompson's M10.
Okay.
So it's a standoff here. It's a like OK Corral, man. So next up is going to be Donaldson Sherman. Donaldson reversed, free pivot. Important to get that free pivot all the time with that good driver. He's got a 3-star driver in that Sherman. So he pivoted, pulled back, and then he finished loading an AP shell. And that's the first one. So we're going to move on to the second phase. Reveal.
Forward, no. Back.
Reverse.
Back. Not forward. Don't go forward.
So you're not shooting. Well,
I didn't say that.
He just has to survive.
I didn't say I wasn't shooting either.
No.
I got a stabilizer.
This does. That doesn't.
Oh, it's...
The Sherman has it.
The Sherman?
Yeah. The Sherman has the stabilizer.
Okay, well,
Not that it's been used.
Um...
So he's got a reverse command. Oh, yeah.
Smooth operator.
He used the smooth ride rule, so he was able to reverse, stay aimed and everything. But he's got a smooth ride. The driver manages to find an area of clear ground. When one of your tanks performs a tactical action, take a driver test. Tactical action. What was your tactical action?
Shooting at you.
Okay, resolve the tactical action if the tank has been issued a halt command. Okay, so he reversed, and now he's going to fire full effect.
Yep.
That's 3 dice, because he's aimed. Needing,
Okay.
what do you need, 5s?
5s.
5s, alright. Can you do it? Can Wild Bill take out the...
No!
Shit's a whiff.
Wow.
I didn't even use my sandbag armor.
Spectacular. Wow.
Okay. Well, that means that next up is going to be Lankowski and his Stu 42, who happen to be aimed at Wild Bill. Lankowski has a hold order, and we're going to fire at the M10. We do have a hold, though. Your gunner calmly waits for the perfect moment to take the shot. When one of your tanks fires, you play this.
Well, I'm continue backing up like I should have done.
Oh, yeah. He stopped within 18 of them. Unfortunately for him. Well, maybe. So I have to pass a test. I don't think we do. Let me check and see what my gunner is. Gunner does pass the test. A 2-star gunner needs a 3+. So if I do hit, we'll resolve the shot against the target's side arc. And I only get two dice here for the Stu 42. Needing a 5. Come on, Lankowski. Give me a break.
Nobody can hit.
Yeah, I love tank games where nothing happens. I love tank games where nothing ever blows up. That's not true. My Pershing got killed last game in one crazy ass shot.
Yeah.
So next up is the Tiger.
Tiger.
And I gave him a halt order, unfortunately. But I'm going to scoot up, I think. I scooted up to the 2 inches. But at least I'm on a side shot to the Sherman now. What's his command?
Oh, actually, I thought I might have given. Actually,
His reverse.
I was contemplating a
Halt.
halt, but apparently I didn't.
So he's going to reverse. Last tank to go is Lieutenant Donaldson. Sherman tried to do the free pivot. He had a reverse order. Failed like the 3rd time with his veteran 2+ driver. So he had to use his action to do the pivot, and then he pulled back 4 inches. Turns out we've been reversing, or Andre's been reversing. He's the only one that's been reversing. He's been reversing too much. It's supposed to be a 4-inch reverse. So now we know, thanks to our one of our live stream viewers for that. And that's it. So now we move on to the last action phase of this turn. Last action phase, we'll start off here with the Wild Bill and his thing. So he is going reverse. Big surprise there. Can he pass his free pivot? Yes.
He can. Which was a big deal, actually.
Yeah.
So
he will just pull back.
Ooh, moving the whole building.
That's what I need. Yeah, move the building. Get it out of here.
So does this mean I'm not... I've got an A marker on me.
I think I can still see you, so it's still there. Yeah.
You can still see me?
Yeah,
Oh.
from here. That's where the aim
from
marker's
him.
coming from
Oh,
this
okay.
way. Yeah. But you
All
can't
right.
see me anymore.
And we'll start,
Start the loading process.
or I guess I could scooty, but
Or you could force load. And you got a you got a 1-star gunner though.
I'm not. I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah.
Take your time with that explosive device, there, son.
He's a rookie. Okay, so he's done. So he's just backed up. Next up is going to be Reuter's. Or no, I'm sorry. Next up is Lankowski's Stu 42. His
He's
command.
got targets.
His command was a move forward. He just moved up. Stu moved up. Force loaded a shell, and then the Tiger left turn. Tried to scoot back. Got a snake eye. So he's straight on the road at least now, and he's moved back an inch. And we're back ends are looking at each other over here. So next up is going to be Lieutenant Mark Donaldson and Sherman. What's his order?
Did we were supposed to redraw cards, weren't we?
I think we did. No,
We
it,
did?
no, it's after this phase. This
It's
is
after this phase.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I was looking at this, thinking it was on one.
Nope.
Okay.
So what's your command there, Donaldson?
What is my command?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Reverse. He's reversing. No surprise there. Donaldson reversed. Got a free pivot. And you should have an action then? Might try to spot the Stu 42. You got a shell loaded, right?
Yeah, might as well try and spot.
You're buttoned up, so you have to pass, or you have to use the action. You don't get a free
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just.
a spot. So that is your action. So you spotted the Stu 42 there behind the hedge.
Hey, look, a stew.
And that's it for that turn. So it's your roll. Are you going to roll one or two?
Let's roll two.
So if you had that card, you could have rolled three.
Three.
Oh man, I didn't know that card was in there. I get 2 5s. Oh, only four.
Four.
So that's going to take us to what? We're at
14. Or 24, rather.
24. We're at 24 minutes. So 6 minutes. It's going to end.
So it should end after this, but it could go another one after that.
Could. We'll see. So next we'll gather up the tokens and get cards. So we're getting the cards. So I'm gonna play this on Andre. Amidst the din of battle, orders are not always clearly understood. When your opponent is about to replenish their hand during an admin phase, your opponent may not draw any event cards during this admin phase. There you go. Unless you got the regroup card,
Wow.
you can cancel it.
Wow.
So that's that for Andre.
So I guess there's no point in discarding a card, is there?
Nope. I get to draw two.
Because you can never draw more than 2 cards.
Right. You can never draw more cards than your highest star commander. Let's see what I got here. Okay. Alright. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so we'll see who goes first. Tank 1, the M10. Tank 2, the Tiger. Tank 3, the Sherman. Tank 4, the Stu. So what do you got, Andre, for Tank 1? What's your command?
Tank 1 says he's going forward.
Forward. Interesting. Okay.
Pull that wind in, boys. Don't blow the smoke away.
They had beans at the mess hall last night. He wound up just popping smoke. He doesn't want to move. So that's Tank 1, and Tank 2 is the Tiger. So the Tiger, left turn. I advanced up 4. I am unbuttoned still. So I declared a spot action, which I passed the crew test for, which made it free, and then I aim. So I'm aiming at the back of the M10. Next up is going to be the Sherman. He just moved, got a free rotation or a free pivot, moved up. He was already spotted the Stu, so he used his action to aim. So he's now aiming at the Stu 42, which is now it's his turn as Tank 4. Stu 42 advanced up. That was his command. And we tried to we declared a spot action, changing from the M10 to the Sherman. I didn't make it, so instead I'm just using my action to spot. That is my action. And that is Tank 4. So we move on now to action phase 2. All right, commands have been issued. Wild Bill and the M10, what are you doing first?
Right turn.
Right turn, Clyde. How are you gonna?
Well, I can do my 4 inches before I turn.
Yeah.
So I move up and then I turn.
Okay.
And go to spotted.
Unbuttoned, so you can do a free, or you could try to do a free spot on the stew if you want. As your action.
Sure.
Might as well. B is. I think you
4
make
plus.
it. Oh no, you don't. You only have a 1-star commander, so he fails the spotting of the Stu 42.
I can't see him.
He's got the binoculars right there.
Well, that's the problem. He's looking through binoculars.
Sir.
Put the binoculars down.
What do you mean you can't see? You've got the lens caps on. Sir, you got to take the covers off of the binoculars.
Oh, never take a lieutenant when a sergeant's going to do the job. Okay.
So he's spotted.
No.
Yeah, you this wasn't free. That was your action.
Oh. Woohoo.
So this was on.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. The Reuter pulled up, and we're gonna snap fire.
You want that as a decimal?
Yeah, the odds are 1 in 18, or something. But I have no choice. We got 6 minutes left.
It's odds are you're not going to get another shot.
If I aim, he'll just move ahead, and then we're just playing ring around the rosy around the stupid building. So I'm just gonna see if I can take him down.
Oh!
Boom! Hell yeah, Bruder.
Okay, I'm gonna calculate the odds now.
Oh my god. Okay, well that's a hit. We'll see what happens. So it was a 1 in 9 chance to hit. 5%, right?
No, it was actually more like 8.5, I think.
Still. But anyway, since he was spotted, I should have just I could have used the spotted dice, which is 2, and lost 1 for moving. So I should have rolled 1 dice, needing a 5.
Okay, so re-roll 1 dice.
But I think 2 dice needing 2 5s should qualify, regardless of the rules. It's like, okay, re-roll. All right. Nope, I missed.
So sad.
No. We're going to say you hit. Side armor. So what's your side armor? It's that tank over there, the M10.
Side armor 15.
Oh, there's a couple. So we got to go through and see. I actually have to roll to see where I hit you and stuff. So we'll figure it out. Basically, a running gear damage. I rolled a 1 on the location. So I went, I was over by 12 or 14.
You severely
penetration.
penetrated my running gear.
If I would have hit the side or the turret, it would have been instant kill. 14 plus penetration on his armor. But apparently I hit the running gear, so he just can't move unless he scoots. Anyway.
But I can't scoot it. It's unlikely. With a 6-inch scoot, I might be able to get out of sight.
So anyway, that was my last special ammo. I didn't even need the special ammo. The AP would have been able. A smoke shell would have done that.
Actually, yeah.
Why do I need that?
Could have popped a tread. With
So I'm unloaded.
Shell.
At least I'm unloaded. So you put a tread damage thing on your tank. Okay. So he can't move. He has to be issued a halt command,
right.
and he can scoot or pivot. That's all he can do. So that's tank 2. So tank 3 is the Sherman, who's aimed at the Stu 42, right? So you should be able to take a shot at him. All right, the Sherman, he moved up. He's got the stabilizer. So he's aimed at the Stu. So he gets 3 dice.
And I don't lose 1 for having moved.
Right, because he got the stabilizer. So needing a 5 on one of these 3 dice. He got 1.
1.
All right. So that's a hit. And let me get my armor value. Shot hit. I'm a 9 armor on this 242, but I'm going to use this improvised armor. Tank is protected by sandbags, logs, extra track links, and the like. Add +2 against the shot. So I'm at 11, and Andre's a 6.
Wow.
So I guess you roll a d6.
And gotta be pretty high.
Oh, it's high.
Oh.
So it's a penetrate by 1 then.
Yes.
Okay. I think I took a hull damage. After all that, there's a million charts, a million rolls you got to go through. He penetrated by 1, so he rolled the d6. If he would have rolled the 1, he would have just outright destroyed me. And that number goes up the more you penetrate by. If it's 4 plus automatic. Unless you hit the stupid running gear.
Don't aim for the tracks.
Anyway, he took a hull damage. He's a turretless tank, so anything that would have been turret goes on the hull anyway. If he takes 1 more, he's dead. We rolled another time to roll on this other chart, and he made the roll to roll on the other chart, but when he rolled on the other chart, he rolled the 1 and no effect. So we think all he has is just a hull damage, and that's it.
And it's his turn.
And there's some other kind of table on another page for button up, but I can't figure out what the hell it means. So it is Stu 42's turn. But am I even in your arc anymore? I guess I could turn and shoot you, right? I have you spotted?
No, you've got him spot. Or, oh.
No, I changed to this guy.
You did?
Yeah, I spotted him. So I could just take a shot at you. Could my gun traverse enough to get you? Probably. So we'll take a shot back. Into 5, come on. Nope.
Ooh.
Kaboom, it's a miss. We missed with the, alright. I think everyone's unloaded now, at least.
Everyone is unloaded.
Okay.
At least everybody's unloaded.
And then that was tank 4, so on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tank 1.
What is it? Hey, it's a halt order.
No surprise there. He had to halt because he has running gear.
But I still have to decide, do I turn and fire at you?
You gotta load.
Well, so do you.
Yeah, I gotta load still. Too bad I didn't have that auto load card thing. I need that. So he can scoot or pivot, right? I think that's all you can do.
Yeah.
He just scooted up and he completed loading an AP shell. So that was Wild Bill. Next up, who's next?
The
Tiger. And he has a right turn, Clyde. Last action, or his action, I was able to force load a shell into the 88, or one of the 88 shells in. Okay, and next up is the Sherman. The Sherman, he just scooted, or not scooted, he advanced up and half loaded.
And he'll actually do a pivot.
Well, this is part of the move. But.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's the turn of this Stu 42 again, right? And he is is he loaded? Why do I have a?
Because you didn't unload him after his last shot.
But he did shoot, right?
He shot at the Sherman.
Yeah, so he's unloaded, and he has a forward command. Okay, try and get out of that one. We'll sit here the rest of the game shooting and missing.
But I'm hull down because I'm behind
down.
ambush terrain.
Yeah, you're behind the ambush train. So he'll also try to force a shell in again. He does. Okay, so this dude's got 2 German tanks all around him. That's the end of that. So now if I roll a 6 here, the game's over. Just because we're down to 6 minutes to go. 2 minutes.
Failed.
Wow, so we're at 26 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I picked 1 and 4. I passed my radio test. We both did. So I put 1 on the Tiger, 4 on the Stu. Andre put, I don't know what order. What order are you putting them in? He's trying to play an event card, I think.
Well, I think it's meaningless because it says I can reallocate them, but since I passed my radio check, I can already do that.
Play
right?
during the reveal. Oh, yeah. Right. So you can just get rid of it to draw another one, right?
I can do it now.
Well, you can play it now. And then you can
There is going to be no more draw phases. If I can't roll 3 on 2d6, I will concede.
Okay. And then he was going to play another one.
And it makes absolutely no difference what order I put them in,
Okay.
even because.
So 2 on the tank destroyer, 3 on the Sherman. So what is your extra reinforcements card?
So it says play when drawn. Effect: discard this card and activate 2 asset cards chosen from those you purchased before the start of the game. Unfortunately, I only purchased one. So
which one is it?
It's the 3-inch M5 anti-tank gun.
Okay, so I could cancel that. That was close. Disaster averted at the last minute. In reaction to your opponent playing any asset or event card, cancels any asset or event card.
So you're gonna cancel the event card or the asset card?
I'll cancel the asset card. How about that?
Cool. So it said I could draw 2 of them, so I'll play this one instead.
Okay. I should just let it go through just so we can see what the hell happens here. You can trace a line of sight from... Yeah, you know what? I want to see what happens. Let's let it fire it off. You can trace a line of sight from your side's base edge, which I think you can.
Yeah.
To an enemy tank, roll 3 dice, needing a 5. So which tank are you targeting? I'm not going to cancel it because I want to see the 3-inch AT gun fire.
I'll go ahead and do nothing to your...
Straight shot, so it's going to be... Oops, where is that? The air is ripped apart by lethal 3-inch anti-tank rounds as streak towards the enemy. Roll 3 dice, needing a 6 to hit. You got one.
It's a hit.
Well, you should probably hit the side of that thing. Because you're a penetration 5. You can't even penetrate my front armor.
Oh.
So I would probably hit the stew,
well,
which...
I was thinking it'd be more interesting if I didn't do any damage.
No, I want to see something damaged.
Okay.
My side armor is 3.
Okay.
Alright, so we get a chance to go through this again. So go ahead and roll a d6. You need a 3 up. So you did penetrate again by 1. So roll a... If you get a 1, you kill him. No, almost.
2.
Okay, now roll to see where he hits.
Turret. So it's
That would be
hull.
hull. So he's destroyed because he took his second hull damage.
Nordöstlich von uns, im Südwesten!
So he finally killed something with 2 hull damages to the Stu 42 from a 3-inch AT gun off board, of all things. And I will save this. I could have canceled the whole thing, but I wanted to see what happened. And it did. The 3-inch AT gun took out the Stu 42. Alright. So that was at the very beginning. So tank 1 is the... Oh, let's issue our orders and then we'll move on and start with this Tiger. Tiger, he is spotted only. So I only get to roll 2 dice. Needing a 5 here. You can't possibly... We're literally touching the tank with the barrel. Yeah, we got one. Alright. So... Hitting on the... Well, the rear I think is the side. So it's 3 again. So that's more than 4.
Crack.
Oh, that's right. We got to roll to see. I got to roll to see where it hits. Right. A 4. I think that's going to be good.
That'll be.
All right, he's dead. It's over for him at least. Wild Bill has been destroyed. I had a what? Your armor was 3, and my AP is 8 or 9. Plus 2. So 11 versus 3 is more than 4. So for 4 plus pen to armor, it's just automatically destroyed. As long as you hit something beside the stupid running gear. So he's dead. I can't win though. Well, the only way I can win is if I destroy that Sherman. And because he's destroyed this, so that's 2 victory points. No, 1.
1.
So I got 1. You got 3 right now. Alright, so what's next is the Tank 2?
Sherman, right?
Yeah, tank 2 is
Tank 2's
destroyed.
gone.
So Wild Bill's dead.
So we're on to tank 3,
Poor Wild Bill.
and he's doing a right turn.
Okay, the Sherman's doing a right turn. So it's Sherman versus Tiger at this point. Mano y mano. It's Bruder versus Donaldson. Right turn, he's moving up 4.
And I'll scoot.
He's loaded too.
He is. Oh, loaded.
Yeah, the Sherman's loaded. Or he's half loaded.
Well, he's loaded. He's not ready.
Oh, okay.
Loaded is kind of a misnomer here.
Yeah. There's load and ready. So he's just moving up 5 more. So the whole rest of this game is going to be back and forth like this.
Pretty much.
Just staying out of sight of the Tiger. So no matter which way the Tiger goes, the Sherman will be able to get away. So
Or maybe I'll stop and take a shot at you, but...
yeah, right. All right, we'll come back. All right, we're going to call the game. It's going to turn into a back and forth cat and mouse game around this house until time runs out. Without another tank to stop him, he can just counter whatever I do, and I'll never get to take a shot at him. So it's 3 to 1.
You'd be lucky to get loaded and aimed and even
it would be a snapshot.
get a shot off.
If I got lucky, I'd get a snapshot. It'd have to be in the next one. I'd have to get tank 1. I'd have to go before you,
Yeah.
and it'd have to align perfectly. So instead of going through all that, we're just going to call it American victory. He got 2 victory points for taking out the stew, 2 for this living
For being
Sherman,
alive.
1 for the stew, and I got 1 for killing the M10. So yeah, it was an interesting game. I'm still having issues with the hit thing. Is most of the game is pretty smooth to us, or to me. But man, once you hit a tank, it becomes like
I don't think it's as bad as we think it is.
chart thing.
Just because we've done it so little, it's really cumbersome.
Yeah, it feels very cumbersome.
It's not smooth, but I think it's one of those mechanics. Once you've done it a dozen times, it would not be as arduous as it seems.
It's just trying to, looking up the steps in the book, or it seems like there's an extra step in there to me. Well, I mean, I understand the point. Yeah, it's single model games. You need to try to ratchet up the complexity a little bit, but so you're rolling to hit. You roll to penetrate. So it could be all avoided if you just penetrate enough and then you just outright kill them. But as we saw, I had a plus 14 penetration on you and still didn't kill you.
Completely blew my track off.
No, because you still were able to scoot.
Okay, you almost completely blew my track off.
Yeah, so that was a complete... that was demoralizing. After all the work it took me to get all the way down the board, chasing him around the house, and finally I got lined up for a shot. A snap fire, which I didn't even need to do, but I still did, and still got 2 5s. And then in the end, after all that, you just damaged the tracks, but we're just going to scoot off anyway. It's like, are you kidding me? That's just insane to me. But we did finally catch up with him and take him down from back here. So the off-table asset, I could have stopped that. Even then, I would have still lost the game. But I just wanted to see what happened. So it's kind of cool to see that 3-inch M5 AT gun come into play and take out a vehicle. He could not have done anything to this, but he could do something to the side armor on a Stu-42, and he did. So that's another thing. Is it seems so rare for these asset cards to come into play.
There aren't that many of them.
I think there's only like 2 or 3 of the reinforcement cards. There's not a whole lot.
Well, that was the only one we saw all game.
Yeah, and we've been drawing a lot of cards. I mean, what is it? Our discard is pretty stacked. But there is a lot more cards in here. But yeah, even in our last game, we got one reinforcement card. So they're really hard to use, or you're lucky if you get to use them.
Yeah, and
I could have just canceled the whole thing, and then so after all that, it's like, oh, sorry, you can't use it anyway after waiting all that time.
I'm really appreciating the cards I drew last game compared to this game. The cards were just not nearly as effective or powerful for me. But granted, I wasn't trying to run you down and shoot at you either.
Yeah, he was trying to survive.
Yeah, which, very, very different dynamic. But when you get a couple of those cards that allow you to do double actions and extra, side armor hits, and it's possible to do a lot of damage if you've got a stacked hand.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's how you killed my Pershing in the first game. Was
Yep.
a crazy sequence of cards and everything and rolls. Just if one shot kill on on that long range on a Pershing was pretty wild. But yeah, I don't know. I think we got the mechanics of movement and actions and move and everything down, but we're still struggling a little bit with the hit chart just because it's quite lengthy. It's like 5 pages long of resolving a hit.
Well, and the fact that we've done, we can count the number of hits we've had on
Yeah.
one hand.
We don't get a lot of hits. We don't even get a lot of shots off. So
Well, between, loading, aiming, and, if the other guy is trying to stay out of line of sight, which, granted, it's been both scenarios have been based on not trying to destroy everybody else.
yeah,
So
maybe that's what we should play.
We haven't just gone toe to toe, just having a shootout. In which if that was the scenario, we'd probably get the damage table down a lot better.
Yeah, and it is obviously if you just penetrate outright 4+ and you just ignore all of it.
Yeah.
It's only when you get like a hit on the hull that doesn't damage, then you got to roll to see. So you got to see where it hits. Then you got to roll to see.
Well, you still got to roll where it hits because it might be the tracks.
We got to roll where it hits, and then you got to roll to see if it doesn't destroy you. Then you got to roll again to see if you get to roll on this other chart. And then if you make that roll and you roll on the other chart, there's more stuff. And then there's another chart if you're unbuttoned that you have to roll on to see what happens then. And
to me, it all kind of works out. It is a lot, but it is just a tank game too, like you were saying.
Yeah, I get it. I get the need to add more, but I don't know. We're just new to it, so it could definitely go a lot faster if we spent more time on the charts. But it's definitely everything up to the point where you hit a tank is very quick and smooth to learn. But the hit chart stuff is a little complex for me. So maybe more games and we get a few more times to roll on it. It'll flow a little smoother, but definitely not the easiest part of the game. So especially after you get the stupid running gear hit after all that. I'm sorry, I can't get over that.
Get over it.
I'll never get over it.
But the movement, the first game, I found that really cumbersome. Trying to maneuver and move, but this game, and that was literally all my strategy was about, a lot easier. And that could have just come down to putting all of my stars on my driver.
Yeah, that makes it a lot better.
It's tough to maneuver when you've got a one-star one-star drivers.
With the free pivots, yeah.
Yeah, and those pivots really make all the difference because it's tough to get anywhere without them. And if you're using all your actions to pivot, it's tough to get yourself loaded and spotted and fire the gun. So really, the driver, we were thinking, probably not that important. But
he's very
probably
important.
honestly one of the most important dudes there. The gunner, being able to slam a shell in and skip a step, that can be huge
and reroll
too.
ones if you're a high enough gunner.
Yeah, I thought the commander was going to be a lot more vital, but the order of the tanks doesn't seem to be as important. I mean, it can be situationally, but not nearly as vital having the radio check success as I expected. Which I say after a game where I didn't fail a single radio check.
Yeah, it's not. I failed a couple. It is annoying, but I think it's the more important thing for the veteran commander is being unbuttoned and getting that free spot, because then you can go straight to aimed, and that speeds it up a lot. 'Cause if you have to spot and then aim,
Yeah.
and then by then the guy might be gone. So it's like, oh, if your unbuttoned commander can pass that test, suddenly that spot is a free action, and you can go, well, now I'm aiming. So you skip a whole step, and that saves you a whole action phase.
And I guess that's the thing about this is each one of the 3 great activities, you're saving a step depending on which one you're doing.
Yeah, it's all about saving steps. I think that's the bonus.
And honestly, I think the driving, because you're moving pretty much every step. So to me, I think having the free pivot for the driver is, I'd say, probably the most important thing. I don't know, being able
Could
to.
be.
We do
Free
not
spot
have
is
this
it.
game mastered.
No.
How's that?
No, we don't. But I do love the assigning of the moves. That's really cool, and it's like that gets really dicey because it's like, oh, there's a couple times in this game where it's like, man, I picked the wrong thing. Especially as this building thing became an issue, because like, okay, do I go back, forward?
What do you do? And
How do I stop? How do I keep them from running around? And my Stu 42 is like, okay, I'm gonna just stay here. That's gonna block this way, and then I'll come around, and it sort of worked.
Yeah,
I got one of you,
you got one.
but then we died in the process. So, but anyway, yeah. So still a lot to learn in this game, especially with the hit table. But yeah, we'll give it another try. We'll do another game.
Maybe 3 tanks on 3 tanks.
I'm thinking more tanks. That would have helped for sure over here. With the limited tanks and the running around the rosy thing, it gets speaking. And when you get down to 1-on-1, forget it.
At the beginning of the game, I was actually thinking, I could go hull down in some ambush terrain, and I could just have a shootout with the Tiger. But having a shootout with a Tiger is usually not a good idea.
No.
Yeah, I was 2-on-1, and I'd have the hull down advantage, and I still think I'd have gotten my butt kicked. It would have been a much shorter game.
Well, that doesn't mean I could have taken you out. It just means that, I don't know. Anyway, it would still be hard. Just because I'm a Tiger doesn't mean it's easy for me to hit you. Yeah, once I do, in theory.
Once you do, you're going to do
dead.
some serious damage.
Unless I just hit the running gear.
Well, you're either serious damage to the running gear.
Yes. So anyway, thanks to Andre for coming out, and thanks to all the live stream guys here, especially the guys that were helping us
not screw up
with
so
the rules.
much.
Yeah. Was that Peter? Yeah, he was here for a while, telling us a bunch of stuff and helping us with the rules. So appreciate that. But anyway, we'll give it another try. Let's see how it goes then. So check out all our social media stuff: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Check out our Patreon if you want to keep the channel going as it is. And let us know what you think of this game of Achtung Panzer, and we'll see you next time.